Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to my very late August wrap up. So once again, August was not the best reading month for me. I don't know what is going on with me at the moment. I am slumping hard. I am trying so hard to fight it and get back into my reading groove, but I've just got a lot going on at the minute, I'm not gonna lie, with life, with work, with all sorts of things. Everything just seems to be getting in the way of reading at the moment, but I am determined to get back on track at some point. So I did end up reading a total of 5 books in August, which as always is perfectly fine. There is no minimum or maximum amount of books to read in a month. It is whatever your own speed is, whatever makes you happy. Even if you read 1 page of a book that month and you feel good about it, that is all that matters. So really 5 books is a-okay. We've got a little mixture here from romance to sci-fi, dystopian to thriller. I was just trying to mood read last month in order to hopefully get out of this slump. I always think mood reading is the best thing to do when you're in a slump, so that's what I was trying to do. It didn't completely work though, but let's just go ahead and get into it. So if you would like to hear all about the books I read in August, then just keep watching. So the first book that I read in August was actually my Patreon book club pick for the month of August. Every month we do choose a book to read together, and then I will film a spoilery reading vlog for my patrons for that book. And August's pick was Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. If you know me, you will know I am a huge Alice Oseman stan. The Heartstopper graphic novels are my favourite graphic novels of all time. I have reread them like 3 or 4 times now. The show was everything to me, so it was great to finally get round to reading Nick and Charlie, especially to read it with my patrons. This one basically follows Nick and Charlie in quite a hard part of their relationship, where Nick is getting ready to go off to university but Charlie will still be in 6th form. So the two of them are navigating this difficult stage in their lives and how they are going to say goodbye. And I'm not gonna lie, this book was hella depressing at times. I was not ready for it, but as always it was cute AF. I will eat up any Nick and Charlie content you can possibly give me. So of course this was a 5-star read. Also because I was in a slump, it was great to read a shorter book. This one is only like 150 pages or so, so it was just like a one-sit read, which is exactly what I was needing this month. But yeah, I don't think there's really too much more to say about this other than the fact that I love Nick and Charlie and I will read anything Nick and Charlie you can possibly give me. Next up, I actually read a YA thriller arc, which was Even If We Break by Marie-K Nijkamp. This one follows 5 friends who go to a cabin in the woods. They are a group of like misfit friends who have all come together through their love of like role play games, I guess, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons type vibes. They all dress up. One of them is like the master leader guy who like comes up with all the different interactions and different activities, but once they get there they are slowly picked off one by one, and we're trying to work out who it is doing this and why. There were so many parts of this book that I did really love. There were some really beautiful quotes. I'm sure I talked about this in a reading vlog actually, which I will link up above if I can find it. There were some really beautiful quotes, some really beautiful writing. It had amazing diverse representation in it. We had all sorts of LGBT characters, we had anxiety, we had chronic pain, we had disability. Basically every type of representation you could want was in this novel, which I loved. And I did really love the friendships between this group of people and how they sort of like found their people and found their selves through each other. It was just the actual thriller part of this book wasn't the best. It was quite boring almost in points. Like I feel like the storyline had so much potential if it had not been YA. If it had been an adult thriller it could have been really scary, really edge of your seat gripping, but unfortunately this one wasn't. I did feel like a lot of it was quite rushed, and the reveal at the end just wasn't all that great in my opinion. I think in my vlog I likened this to There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins, which was the same. You get to the end, you find out who the killer is and why, and it's all just a bit lackluster. So I did end up giving this one 3 out of 5 stars. By no means a bad book, it's just I kind of expect a lot now when it comes to thrillers, and this one just did not match up. Next up, I ended up reading a new favourite book of all time. I'm pretty sure I read this one in the same vlog as Even If We Break, and that is Docile by Kate and Sparrow. In this book we follow Elisha, whose family is in a ton of debt that has been handed down generation by generation, and he chooses to become a docile, so he sells himself to the highest bidder basically of rich people who will pay his debts in exchange for some sort of work. So Elisha sells his body, his time, everything to this guy called Alex, who happens to be the ancestor of the guy who came up with docile, which is a drug that dociles can take so that they can't remember or sort of feel anything that happens to them while they are docile. But Elisha has seen firsthand what it can do to someone afterwards and the long-lasting effects of this, so he chooses not to take docile, and Alex chooses to try and make him the perfect docile without it. This book has literally every trigger warning under the sun. It is a very difficult read at parts, it is very violent, lots of abuse, some pretty sickening scenes to be honest, but it is also just an incredible read. I couldn't put this one down for how chunky it is, how many words there are on the page. I read this one pretty fast because I just did not want to stop reading. It is such a clever book that totally messes with your head. Like, the author manages to make you think a certain way or start to think a certain way, and then he'll throw a curveball in and be like, wait, why are you thinking that way? That's not right, is it? And you have to question everything you've just thought. It's just honestly the most clever, manipulative, eye-opening book I've ever read. So of course I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars too. Next up, I read The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This one was an interesting read. I was really excited about it because I had seen it all over TikTok. Of course, everyone is talking about this book at the moment. I was a little bit hesitant because usually I am not a huge fan of the friends to lovers trope, and this one follows two friends, Bree and Nathan, who have known each other since high school, I believe, have both clearly fancied each other the whole time, but they've had such an amazing friendship. Neither one of them has wanted to broach the subject of it being something more in case they destroy that. And then Bree gets very drunk one night and ends up talking to a reporter about Nathan, who is like a star quarterback, I believe, about how she's always loved him and maybe he could be in love with her too. This report comes out, she is absolutely humiliated, but Nathan's publicist decide what would be best is for them to enter into like a fake relationship because they can make a lot of money in sponsorships and such off of this story. And the story goes from there. Obviously this is friends to lovers, fake dating. Fake dating is one of my favourite tropes of all time. Friends to lovers, I'm a little bit iffy with. This one, the middle portion, I really struggle with just because we're getting both perspectives of both people saying, oh my god, like I love him and I want to be with him or I want to be with her, but I don't think they want to be with me. And it's just so obvious that the two of them do want to be with each other. Like, it's so obvious by what they're saying and what they're doing that this is more than just a friendship. So for me, that was just such a frustrating part of the book, and that is why I do not get on well with friends to lovers. However, the beginning and end of this book smashed it. Particularly the last 100 pages, this had some of the cutest scenes I had ever read. Like, I'm pretty sure I shed a tear at one point because of how cute it was. It's full of witty banter and also some great mental health representation as well. So I did end up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars. I think the middle portion probably would have been like a 3-star, but the ending pulled it back and I ended up giving it 4 stars in the end. And the final book I read in August was The Confidence of Wildflowers by Michaela Smeltzer, I believe. I read this one on Kindle Unlimited, so I'll of course pop a little image of the book here. This is the first book in a duology, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't expect much from this book when I downloaded it. I was out of my house and I needed something to read, and I thought, do you know what, let's have a little look on Kindle Unlimited. Picked this one up because I'd seen a few people talking about it recently. Wasn't expecting much, just thought, you know, it'll pass the time just now. And the next thing I know, it is an hour later and I am 30% of the way through the book. I literally did not move for that whole time. I was just so engrossed in this book, like totally loving it. This one is an age gap romance, and don't ask me why, but for some reason age gap romances I'm a sucker for. In this one we follow Salem, who is a young girl living with her mum, and all of her friends, her boyfriend, etc. are all getting ready to leave high school. I think she's like 18. They're all getting ready to leave high school, they're all moving on with their lives, and she doesn't know what the heck she wants to do with hers. She just wants to stay in this town for now and work out where her life is going. And then a new neighbour moves in next door named Thayer. He is this grumpy gardener type with a son, and she ends up babysitting for him. And as their relationship grows, it begins to become quite clear that the two of them may have just a little thing for each other. And it goes from there. Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas is one of my favourite romances ever, and it is an age gap romance, and this one definitely gave me the same sort of vibes. This one also did deal with some really emotional and quite dark subject matters as well, so I would look up trigger warnings for this one, specifically for sexual abuse, but I did think that it dealt with everything with a great deal of care. And I also loved this author's writing style. Like I said, I could not put it down. I just felt like everything flowed from page to page, and I just wanted to see what was going to happen next. I was totally engrossed in this story, and I did end up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars in the end. The second book, however, that's a different story. We might cover that in next month's wrap up. But that is it for my August wrap up. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was again quite a short one because I did not read too much, but hopefully you'll have got some idea, maybe some recommendations. I don't know. If you did make it to the end of this video, then pop a flower emoji down below for The Confidence of Wildflowers, the last book I mentioned. Just to let me know that you made it to the end of this video and that you enjoyed your time here. But as always, if you did enjoy the video, then do please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more bookish content from me. Comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings. I do reply to every single comment. I love you all, and I will see you in my next one.